We are 2 hours away from the Sparrow Awards, live tonight at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook and YouTube. You can watch it. We are giving awards out to all of the amazing people that help support us throughout the year. So come back here at 7 o'clock. And we're having stuff this hour. We have stuff at 6 o'clock, so you'll be here anyway. So just stay here and watch the Sparrow Awards. It's going to be really fun. Guess what? We're also what? That means we're 7 hours away from the end of Giving Tuesday. Hearts Need Art had a goal today of raising $2,000. We have a matching donor of up to $10,000 for the month. So today is a great day to do it, but so is any other day this month. We are already at today, before the matching donor, $2,391. So I just want to clap for everyone who donated, everyone who's going to donate. Thank you so much. This is going to change people's lives. You can donate by texting double to 210-796-5188 or go on our website, heartsneedart.org/donate and do that now or in between the live streams. We're going to give you time during the Sparrow Awards. But there's no reason not to do it. Okay? And anybody who donates today is going to get put in a raffle that we're going to pick the winners from at the end of the Sparrow Awards. And here are all of the prizes you can win. Let me fix these. We have earrings. Look how pretty these are. You could win those. You could win these. You could win a 4-pack of zoo tickets to the San Antonio Zoo. You can win those. You could win a $100 gift card to Rack Room Shoes. He doesn't need new shoes. You could win tickets to the Public Texas Wine and Cheese Experience for you and 5 friends. That's 6 people. You can go there. It's a $150 value. And a $25 Oriental Trading Company gift card. And we're going to pick all of those winners at the end of the Sparrow Awards. So like 8 o'clock tonight is when you'll tune in to win. Now, what's fun about what I get to do here on these live streams is I get to have the patients and I get to talk to artists and musicians and staff and medical staff and family members. But I feel like I never get to talk to artists and their patients at the same time. And that's what we get to do right now. I'm very excited because Hannah is here. She's our artist in residence and one of our leading virtual one-on-one superstars, Alexa. If we can bring both of them on here. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, Richard.
Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much. This is an exciting day because we just gave thanks and now it's time to give back. So I'm super excited about today.
Well, I'm so thankful that you're here and that your garland exploded behind you.
Yes, I'm all ready for the Sparrow Awards. I hope to win Best Dress.
As you should. I'm making an award for you right now. If we had a red carpet, you would be walking down it. I can feel it. Totally. Alexa, how did you hear about Hearts Need Art?
So I heard about it from Kara from Teen Cancer America. She sends a regular email to AYAs, adolescents and young adults with cancer, and she gives resources and tips and things to help us, especially during quarantine. So she said there's an organization called Hearts Need Art, and you can book one-on-one sessions and do whatever you want with an artist, a musician, or a writer. And that made me so excited because I started taking up some painting over this crazy quarantine time. And I thought that would be really amazing for me to spend one-on-one time with an actual artist and get some tips and some feedback. And I fell in love with Hannah Love at First Sight. It really was. And we've been creating ever since.
You literally have been creating every week. I get the emails that you sign up multiple times a week, and I love it. What drew you to Hannah? Was it her availability, or what made you pick her? Do you have other artists as well?
So Whenever I signed up, it was just Hannah, and I had no idea who I was going to get. I just signed up for the virtual art, and I was just excited. And I think not knowing who it was sort of add to the surprise and enchantment. So when I logged on, I was just, who am I going to meet? What's their story? What's their art background? And it was really exciting.
So what was that first meeting for both of you? Hannah, I want to bring you in here too, of like that first time when you're meeting the artist for the first time and the patient, and it's not a one-on-one where you're walking into their hospital room. It's not necessarily anything that you can prepare for because you've never done it before. So what is that like?
Well, I guess I can
Either
go.
one.
Yeah. Well, for honestly any art experience that I have, whether it be at the hospital or online, it is kind of a mixed bag. Because like with patients' rooms, when we went into patients' rooms, you never know who you're gonna get. People are people, right? So it's the same thing with online experiences. So I'd seen Alexa's name and I just thought, okay, awesome, we're gonna get a new person. That's really cool. Okay, I have all my things set up. I have all my supplies here. What are they going to throw out? What kind of project are they going to want? And those are the kinds of things that always go through my mind, no matter no matter who signs up, whether it be online or through the hospital. So I'll always have my supplies ready, and I'll always have just kind of like a general mixed bag of things that I like to, projects that I like to start with, and that I like to just throw out there kind of as suggestions. And it's that's pretty much how I approach every single experience with a new person. I come in with an open mind and I just sort of ask them what they want to do. And even Alexa, with our sessions now, I will still always ask her what she wants to do. Because it's her session, it's all about her.
Yeah, and Hannah, it was so great that you did have all your supplies ready. And if I said I wanted to draw a Pikachu riding on a unicorn and a chocolate fountain, we could do that. And that's one of the things I love about working with Hannah is that she's never told me, hey, tone it down. Like, we have done so many different projects and I love every single one. And usually she's like, let's take it to the next level. And I love that so much. But when I logged in the first time and met Hannah, I was actually more comfortable knowing she was at home because we were both at home. I wasn't going to her studio and she wasn't necessarily coming into my hospital room, which for a lot of cancer patients, that is our home for a long time. So it's nice that we were both meeting at an equal point. And I think it made both of us feel more comfortable. And so I didn't have anything particular in mind. She showed me some things she had done with some past patients. And I said, Hannah, I am very loud. I need something a little bit louder than this. And she said, okay, let's make it loud. And we've been making loud art ever since.
We have been.
We
loud. Amazing. You have any of your artwork that you guys have made together handy by any chance?
So I have Mr. Peacock somewhere. Usually he's right near me. But we have seriously made a bunch of stuff.
No. I know that piece behind you, Alexa, is one of the pieces you've made.
Yes, it's right here. And this piece is so special to me because I told Hannah specifically kind of what I wanted. I'm a thyroid cancer patient, and our symbol is a butterfly because the thyroid gland is shaped like a butterfly. And our ribbon is so unique because it has 3 different colors. And I told Hannah, please design me a butterfly we can make so I can have in my office area because I work from home and I'm an actual advocate. So I want people to know I'm just like them and I have the same issues. And so I told Hannah, please design me one. And she did. She gave me multiple different options, but I loved this option and we painted it together and I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces I've ever done.
And that makes me think of a question of like, you have access to a professional artist. What's it like to be able to be like, I want you to create something for me to help me, make whatever piece. So what is it like to kind of boss Hannah around and tell her what you want? And what's it like for you, Hannah, to then have that challenge when someone comes to you as sort of like a custom piece that I'm imagining that kind of stretches your creativity. But is there any pressure behind that, or is it excitement?
Well, Richard, I'm actually really glad you asked this question because I, as a patient, I don't have a lot of control. I don't get to control my medication dose. I don't get to control when I get to go to the doctor. There's a lot I can't control. And so for me, it has been so beneficial for my mental health to have some aspect, even if it's just art, something I can control and I do have a say in and I do have a voice. And that's why I think whether you do with musicians with Hearts Need Art or with Hannah or with anybody else here, you have an element of control that you may not have in your daily life as a patient.
Yeah, that's so true.
Very true.
Hannah, what's it like for you on the other end of that?
Well, for me, honestly, Alexa, you keep me on my toes. You really do. Because I never know what you're gonna throw out as your project. We did a Chibi Pokemon one time, and so I'm like, wow, I haven't actually done like chibi versions of anything in years. So like it was great mental exercise for me for one, but it was nice to sort of pull that out of a mixed bag of ideas that I can now add to this pool for any other patients that I can work with now. So yeah, you really do keep me on my toes, and but other than that, I do always I repeat all the time. Uh, I reiterate all the time to patients and patients that I repeat that I do certain techniques and certain things all the time, but I mix and match them, and I find creative ways to repeat to make something newer again. And I keep that in my back pocket for any new patient, for any patient really that comes across with a project in mind. I'll have something that I can pull out for them and that we can turn into our own project for something that we can do. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
And Hannah,
yeah,
can I
you honestly
really
like,
quick?
Yeah.
So one of the best ways that Hearts Need Art has really helped me is earlier in November, I was diagnosed with pneumonia and it was very difficult on me. I was in so much pain. I was having a lot of anxiety over it. And I didn't cancel. I canceled nearly everything work related, and I did not cancel my session with Hannah because I knew that the art time that we would spend together would be some of the best medicine I could have. And I logged on. Hannah immediately knew something was wrong. And I said, well, all is not well in Waffleville. I have pneumonia. I can't think of anything to do today. Can you just instruct me and guide me? And she had so many things in her back pocket that she could still offer me some control. And I booked additional sessions with her that week. And I looked forward to them because it took my mind off of how much my chest hurt. And that's one of the ways Hearts Need Art helps me every week. But in that particular time, it helped me so much.
Oh, hi, Hannah. Hannah decided she was going, apparently. She was overcome with emotion. I don't know what happened to her. I have no idea. Internet, the excitement of live technology. What keeps you, and I think you sort of answered it, but what keeps you coming back every week with appointments, Alexa? Like, what is it that, you could go and you could be like, well, I have all the supplies, I can figure this out on my own. But what we worry a lot during virtual sessions about the connection with people and the feeling of isolation with people. Welcome back, Hannah.
there you are. There you are. Hi guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And it really feels like you have connected with Hannah in a way that doesn't always happen in a virtual world, which we're very excited about.
So I think that is an excellent question, and I'm sure a lot of people would be curious about that why have Hannah and I connected so well over virtual. I do think because I am a millennial and she is also a millennial, we are used to being online. I think that has helped a lot, but Hannah, just the person that she is, would make anyone feel comfortable, and she's such a wonderful, incredible human being. I'm so proud of her for everything she is accomplishing in our world. And I think the thing is, when people donate to Hearts Need Art and when that helps benefit me, you're helping benefit my entire community, because what this helps me do as a cancer advocate is I can go out and help other people. And one of the things that keeps me coming back to Hearts Need Art is because this is an entire family. It was made very clear from early on that I would not, when I kind of joined in the family, I was never going to be alone. And like Hannah's boyfriend, Junior, has contributed in opinions and stuff with some of our art projects. And I just know that it's not just me and Hannah, it's Richard too, and it's everybody here.
Yeah, it's definitely once you're in, and there's no way of getting out. Nope. Nope. Hannah, what's it like for you on that other side of trying to connect with people virtually? Is that something that you're finding easier now, or what are the challenges, if there are any, doing that online?
Well, it's getting a lot easier. It was challenging at first, of course, because with the whole COVID thing and not being used to working on Zoom as your way of communication. But it's a lot easier now, especially since I'm on my phone all the time, as are so many people my age all the time. So that has gotten a lot easier with time. But really, as long as I have a stable, okay, good connection to the internet, we can connect through art, and as long as you're able to hear me and see what I'm doing and follow along, then we'll be fine. Working from computer is totally fine. And actually, I usually work from my phone.
Hannah usually has tripods and 3 different cameras happening to get all the angles. We've perfected
Yes,
Hannah's live streams and her virtual learning platform. And yeah, it's very exciting.
I'm definitely surrounded by a lot of light now
Yes,
these days. Smart
yes.
light to be precise.
I hear you. Last question for both of you. It's Giving Tuesday, and as people are finding places to donate to, why should they donate to Hearts Need Art?
Hannah, you're on screen, honey. Your face is
What?
on.
Well, it's like what you had mentioned earlier, Alexa. Um, it just sort of helps to bring that humanity, and just sort of helps to bring that humanity back into your life. You don't have control over a lot of things. And with arts, at least, you do have control over something. And with a little bit of guidance, we can create something that is totally 100% yours, that you created, that you can control completely yourself. And it's something that you can hang up, and you have a good time with it, and something that you're proud to hang on your wall. Hopefully, hang on your wall. So
I say often that a lot of my art gets hung on the inside of the garbage can, but it's still the process of doing
yes,
it that I love.
yes. The
It is-
process is just as important, if not even more important, than what you actually create.
yeah. I was not an artist in any capacity before I started working here, and I was the one who was like, I'm going to be behind the scenes doing things. And then I took my first art class, and just like the the way the paint moves across a canvas
Yeah,
is so satisfying to me, and the sheen of paint on a canvas, like I kind of fell in love with all of it, and now I make stuff all the time that doesn't go anywhere, but it's so much fun
yeah.
to do.
Just being able to see the movement, like you mentioned, the movement of the paint, whether it be watercolor, whether it be acrylic, or whether it be a crayon in your hand, something
Yeah.
super simple and accessible. Just being able to see that mark making, do that mark making, just kind of creates a positive disruption to your life. So where your mind can focus on something other than your illness and other than any other stresses that are sort of happening in your life. So that's another reason why people should donate.
We can have an hour just of reasons. Alexa, what are your reasons?
So my biggest reason that I would tell anybody is that the doctors can help heal my body, but they can't heal my heart or my spirit or my emotions. And that is something that Hearts Need Arts does because they're providing such a essential service to the healing process that not a lot of other people, even at some of the best hospitals in the world, are doing. And Hearts Need Art actually give this as accessible as it can be. And it's been such a big part of my healing process that I could not have done this without any of you. And I'm looking to you directly in the camera at home. If you're thinking about making a donation, I just want to say thank you because you're contributing into me. You're saying I want to be part of Team Alexa, and I'm standing behind you and beside you. And that's invaluable to us as cancer patients. And just the story about me having pneumonia and knowing that this was a safe place to go and was as part of my treatment as some of the pain meds I was on, that says it all.
I love it. Alexa, thank you so
Said
much
beautifully.
for being such a great advocate and a really just like a poster child of what Hearts Need Art really does and can do for people. You've taken everything and ran with it, and I love it. I love seeing all the stuff you're creating. One last question, and then I'm going to let you go. What's your favorite thing to use to make art?
So I like different types of paint because you can do a lot of different techniques with that Hannah has taught me. Different textures, different colors, how you can mix certain things. That is super fun.
I love it. If you want to join Team Alexa, text double to 210-796-5188 and join us today for Giving Tuesday. Alexa, thank you so much.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you everyone at home. I really appreciate you, and you cannot donate to a better organization.
Thank you. You're the best.
Thank you.
She's so sweet. I would, if we could hang out with her, we would hang out with her. Hannah's going to, there was, I don't know if you saw in the background of Hannah's screen, but there's some paint back there, and she is going to show us what to do, or what she's doing, and how to do it. Yes, Hannah?
Yes, I am. Good, I am.
Hannah, what's your favorite thing to use to make art?
Ooh, good question. Usually watercolors or acrylic paints. Usually. 'Cause I love watching the color spread. I'm doing certain techniques. As Alexa mentioned, I love the different textures that you can make as well. They're just fun.
I love it. Now, I gave Hannah instruction that this is supposed to take less than 15 minutes, and I am Hannah's, in the hospital, I am Hannah's timer because she has no time awareness, and 3 hours can fly by and she thinks it's 20 minutes. So also, as I'm looking at this, I want to do this, and I want to turn it into like a Christmas. I want to put like lights on those trees. I have an idea of what I'm going to do, and I'll show you. Not now because I'm not painting them, but you've already inspired me to do something, so I'm excited. So, what kind of paint are we using today?
Awesome. Well, we are using acrylic paint. So
Right.
I'm actually starting to take it out now. Acrylic paints and water.
That's it. And maybe a canvas and some brushes. All right, I'm going to get out of here so you can't. Oh, what's that?
This is a makeup wedge
Oh,
for applying makeup, which is not really necessary, but it's fun to use it. Because why not?
you might have that instead of a paintbrush.
Yes,
Just saying.
absolutely.
All right, I'm getting out of here so you can teach everyone.
Awesome. I cannot wait to show you. Okay, guys. So I'm actually just sort of pouring everything out right now. I'm going to tilt this just a little bit so you can see kind of what I'm doing. So I've already poured or not poured, squeezed out the blue paint. It's a dark blue to be exact. I have dark green. Technically, they're called phthalo blue and phthalo green. You can see that spelling right there, phthalo. But you don't have to be precise. In fact, I encourage you all to experiment a little bit, as I always do. So I have here some white paint as well. We're just going to use a little bit of that a little bit of green. As you can see in the background of the painting there, background and the water, it's going to be using that blue, that dark blue and that dark green. Going to put a little bit of black paint as well. And then I think that's it. I think. A little bit of black paint. Awesome. 5 colors. Get our brush. Gonna move this up so you guys can see it. Now I have a wedge brush. It's not particularly important. It's really not. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. That's really the only reason I'm using this brush. You can certainly use a wedge brush. I'm sorry, a flat brush as well. Just use the flat end, just the same way we're going to be using a flat end, probably this flat end, with the brush, or with the wedge brush. As I water on hand, be sure to have plenty of paper towels. I usually forget to grab my paper towels. Luckily, I have a stash right by, super close by. So I'm going to start with my blue. Kind of grab a little like this. Scrape, 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 scrape. Super easy scraping. I did not wet my brush. I probably will wet it in a little bit. All I really want to do is start smudging that paint all around. You will get messy. Just letting you know right there. Smudging that paint. I'm going to take my green now. This is my dark green. Scrape, scrape, scrape with a dirty brush or dirty sponge. I'm going to go right on top of all that because I like to do everything very impromptu. I don't like to mix on my palette, although I should most of the time. I'm mixing right on the canvas, all the way down. Notice how I'm going over my brush strokes again and again and again, a bazillion times. Now that I'm getting a bit closer, I'm going to pay attention to where I'm going to be putting my horizon line. So that's going to be where my water reaches the edge. So I got my water here. Dip a little bit of water there. That's going to help me to spread the paint. Notice how I just got a little bit. It's not dripping or anything. Going to pick up right where I left off. Spread it down. Notice how you can easily pick up that paint, spread some more of it down, like I need to get some more. And then use that flat edge, flat part of the brush to start to make the edge of the water. There we go. Adding that water really helped to spread that paint more and keep this area dark. So lighter here, darker here because of that water. So now I can take my brush. It's still dirty, right? Get my blue. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Again, scrape that blue. Go down here and we're going to start to put the water's edge in there. Notice how I'm not being super careful. I'm not being super careful about that edge there because we have mountains. Those mountains are going to be put back there. Scrape it all the way down. I'm even like pressing down into the brush or into the sponge as I scrape it across. And that's helping me to get those really pretty streaks that you see. Squishing down my paint, or swishing down my sponge. Now that we have our beautiful water, if you wanted to, you could grab a teensy bit more blue and just kind of paint in or lightly brush in some streaks there for the water. Not really pressing down very hard. There we go. Now, again, I have a dirty sponge here. Not really going to rinse it. I don't really need to because I need to put in my mountains. Scrape some black paint for those mountains. And let's say I want my tallest mountain to be right about there. It's in the distance, right? So I'm just going to kind of use that edge to start to make my mountains. Use that edge to sort of dab it in there. Going to refill. Now, I do want my Aurora Borealis to reach down here. Those are the northern lights you saw back there in that first painting. I want it to reach in the middle there, so I'm just going to lightly scrape using that edge. Fill it in just kind of by tapping a little bit. Scrape it in there a little bit. If you accidentally get a corner in there, that's okay. I want to make another mountain there. So I'm using that edge, just like that. Fill it in by tapping it in there. And voila, I am done with that part. Almost. I say that I'm done and I'm not done. There we go. So now I can take my sponge, rinse it off by squeezing it in the water. May have to do this a couple times. If you'd much rather use a different sponge, you certainly can. Otherwise, you'd have to continue to rinse it off, dab it on a piece of paper, rinse it off again and again. But for the sake of time, I'm going to put on a brand new brush or a brand new sponge. So I'm going to take my brand new sponge, get some white paint. We're going to start off with this white paint. Now remember how I said in the background, that's going to be the northern lights. See how these lines are going vertically like that? I'm going to start in the middle here. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Kind of want to make that middle portion just a little bit taller, or a little bit longer, I should say. Up and down, all the way to the end. You can even go up if you want to. Now, if it's easier for you to change the position, then you are more than welcome to do that. If it's easier to do this side by side rather than up and down, then you do that. So now that we have the white paint in there, let's go back in with our, once again, dirty brush. Get our green paint. Scrape, scrape, scrape that in there. And as we're scraping it in there, it's just kind of mixing. And at this point, we have wet paint. And that is perfect. That wet paint is going to allow us to mix the colors together. I'm going right on top of what I already put in there. I even accidentally got a little bit of black paint in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. But if it's just a little bit, you can keep on just spreading it and it'll go away. Put more green in there. I honestly just need to do a little bit of this and then I'm done. You'll have to tell me, Richard, how long I took on this painting. Did not feel like 3 hours for sure. There we go. Y'all, I think I'm done. original, and the next one. I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed this painting. This sponge painting.
I think that was 11 minutes.
11 minutes. I'm proud of myself.
I'm so impressed with you. Yeah, I also thought they were trees when they were behind you in the Northern Lights, so I take that back.
That's okay.
If
You
know
can make trees that way if you want to.
I mean, that's what I might do for my idea for Christmas. So
Do
I
it.
will share it with you.
Yeah.
And thanks for that lesson. It's really cool. How big is that canvas?
This one is 8 by 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 8 by 8, but you can also use a what is this one? This is probably like 9 by 12. So 9 by 12 or 8 by 10 would work great too.
I love it. Anna,
Yeah.
thanks for chatting and teaching us today.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, Richard.
Anytime. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back one more thing at 6 o'clock, some live music, and then the Sparrow Awards.
Woo!
See you,
Can't
everyone.
wait. See ya.